Good morning, everybody. It's Sergeant Soldier. And I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I got a new segment here I'm going to be introducing called What's in Your Foot Locker? Or What's in the Foot Locker? And I wasn't sure what I was going to include in this category, but I think what it is just going to be me sitting down on the pile of sandbags next to my cousin Judd while he kind of noodles on the guitar. And, so to speak. And a couple of things I got on my mind this morning is I put out a stop motion of Cousin Judd this week, and it really, what I would call blew up. Got about 1,200 views in just hours, and I think that's really neat. But and in that same day, Cousin Judd, he has a stop motion thing in mind that he wants to get me to do, and maybe. And then I had another really popular website that I frequent quite often. I'm not going to mention just yet until I get it done, but they saw it and they thought, they're into surf guitar and they have a show that kind of highlights that, and they've asked me to do a stop motion for their intro. And what that is success. And I've been on dialysis for 20 years. I've been retired. I have a very generous stipend that comes in from the government. And as much as I hate to admit that, but what it's done for the last 20 years, just my health problems, have made me not run towards the sound of gunfire. And because I did that as a young man. And now that I'm old and I've been vulnerable, I've broken my neck. I've come out of several comas. That it diminishes you a little bit each time you do it. But there is something to having the comfort of a generous stipend and not wanting to chase gunfire, chase the struggle, chase success. And I'm telling you, it's been something that's been on my mind now that I'm achieving some kind of notoriety in this. I'm up to 91 subscribers. Hopefully I'll hit 100 pretty quick. That'd be awesome. I'd love to do a little celebration for that. But there is some fear of success that's still inside of me. I don't want to get all committed and end up in another dadgum coma or have some other health problem that seems to arise every 6 months or so, a couple times a year, every year or so. Something just goes wrong. That's just part of being on dialysis for 20 years. The average is like 3, mainly because of the age of the people that get in there and needing to do it. And, so you're not going to last forever, and I don't want to start something that I can't finish. But there's a bucket list going on now that I've been doing this for so long, and this is one of them, is to create and to entertain and not, certainly not to offend. Which that brings me to my second point. The name of my channel is Sergeant Soldier. There's a whole background of stuff over there in the corner of just if I need to whip out my bona fides and put them on camera, show the commission the non-commission I got from the government saying I'm a sergeant, and it's pronounced sergeant. Don't call me Sarge. And I'm not doing that to offend. Lord knows I'm not doing it to offend anybody. I love every one of my subscribers that are coming on here to be entertained, and I don't want to be going into a lecture about anything. But it is a brainwashed, programmed response for the NCO Corps of the United States Army to insist that we be called Sergeant, Sergeant, Sergeant. And again, I'm not trying to run anybody off for the ignorance, because definitely Hollywood and the movies and such will tell you that the affectionate term is Sarge, and it's not anymore. Maybe it was in World War II, or maybe it is in Hollywood or something like that. But in the NCO Corps of the United States Army, and granted, I am not a sergeant. I'm a civilian, just like all the rest of you now. I'm just, I'm broken down and beaten up as a civilian, but at one point I was a sergeant, and I like to maintain that. Anyway, that's about 5 minutes, and I gotta kind of cut it there, and we'll come back in with the rest of the What's in the Foot Locker review.